Hello, welcome to For Real Guide. In today's episode, we delve into the top 8 scams you might encounter while exploring China. Traps that can snare even the most astute travelers. Stick around till the end of this video for some essential tips on dodging these tourist pitfalls and effectively safeguarding your rights using vital emergency numbers. Stay alert and informed and avoiding becoming an easy target for scams. The Teahouse Scam. Imagine strolling through the vibrant, pulsating streets of Shanghai or Beijing. You are at the start of your Chinese odyssey, eagerly soaking in every sight and sound. Suddenly, a young, seemingly naive girl, possibly another traveler, strikes up a conversation with you. Her English is impressively fluent, disarmingly friendly. A pleasant surprise considering the typical reserve attributed to Asian cultures. You find yourself immersed in a rich exchange about Chinese culture, food, traditions, and family life. The conversation leads to what feels like a serendipitous encounter. Should we grab some pizza? You suggest. No, let's experience something authentically Chinese. Let's have a tea, she counters. She guides you down a traditional alleyway to a quaint tea house, where a waitress in a cheongsam serves you, and you experienced a tea ceremony. Before you fully savor the experience, a staggering bill arrives. You are blindsided with charges ranging from $200 to $1,000. This is your introduction to the notorious Teahouse Scam. In Shanghai, this could unfold on the Waitan, Luyuan, or East Nanjing Road. In Beijing, it might be Wangfujing or the streets around the Tiananmen Square. The initiator of these rules might be an English practicing student or an unassuming middle-aged woman. The Black Taxi Scam. There are two main taxi scams. The first involves metered taxis that overcharge, offering you a fare well above the norm to avoid taxes for personal gain. This scam is as old as the taxi industry itself. If you encounter such a situation, always inquire if their meter is operational. The second type is the black taxi, which doesn't refer to the vehicle's color, but to the unauthorized, illegally operated cars commonly found near airports, train stations, and tourist areas. These drivers, often in groups, can be identified by their dishonorable demeanor and aggressive tactics. These drivers exploit your unfamiliarity with local rates to demand exorbitant flat fees. To avoid being a target, avoid interaction and eye contact. Your unfamiliarity and hesitation make you a perfect victim, particularly in Shanghai's airports. These black taxis prey on foreigners, intercepting them on the way to the official taxi stand. They boldly announce taxi in the presence of airport security, sometimes quoting prices in dollars, with a trip to the city center costing hundreds of dollars.
He told me that it is 750 RMB. I paid it by credit card before I got on the car.
Refusing to pay their demanded fare can lead to being abandoned midway or subjected to verbal abuse. The Fake Monk Scam. A scam as old as time in many Chinese cities, involves imposters posing as monks or nuns. They distribute cards or amulets, then press for donations for these blessings. Accepting a card leads to a calculated guilt trip about the supposed sacredness of their offerings, often paired with a gift of a bracelet. Refusing them triggers relentlessly persistence. They might follow you, offering counterfeit temper VIP cards, coercing you to sign their merit book and donate. They won't settle for meager donations. They are after substantial amounts. Bear in mind, genial monks reside in temples, not soliciting donations on the streets. The bar scam. In bustling nightclub areas, hostesses outside bars or karaoke lounges might lure you inside to drink and sing. It's a common thing in China, but a potential trap for unwary tourists. First, understand that these hostesses are part of the expense, with each costing around 300 yuan. Once seated, more might join, coaxing you into buying them drinks, exporting the stereotype that men should foot the bill. Waiters constantly bring snacks and fruits, and when you try to leave, you are confronted with a hefty bill, potentially includes the hostess's charges, soaring to thousands of yuan. They might even present a tailored English menu with inflated or hidden prices. Resistance to pay can lead to intimidation by the management and their imposing associates. The Rickshaw Scam. A prevalent scam in Beijing, involving rickshaw drivers and taxi drivers in cahoots. A typical scenario: you are headed to a tourist spot, but the taxi driver informs you of restrictions or closures. They then suggest a local experience, a rickshaw ride through the famed hutongs, embellishing their allure. The pitch might be, take a rickshaw, they will show you around the 8 hutongs, and narrate Beijing's history, or only rickshaws can navigate the hutongs, and other nonsense. Once you express interest and consent, the taxi driver covertly signals to the rickshaw driver. As you alight from the taxi, a rickshaw conveniently appears, ready and waiting. The fare is set at 150 yuan per person, but after you pay and get on, they suddenly demand an additional 50 to 100 yuan for a guided tour. Yet, when the brief journey unfolds, it's anything but enchanting. The tour warps up in under 20 minutes, leaving you navigating through streets that are more akin to a neglected urban village than the charming back alleys you might have envisioned. Here's the twist in the tale. That rickshaw you were clamped aboard, it's not the quaint, pedal-powered contraption you imagined. Instead, it's an electrical vehicle, gliding effortlessly without a hint of the traditional rickshaw charm. In a mere 20 minutes, with little more than a flick of a switch. These clever operators have slyly earned 200 yuan per person from you. The Terracotta Army Scam. Just a stone's throw from the real Terracotta Warriors Museum, nestled 4 kilometers away. It's a facade, a privately run, counterfeit museum. This snail might catch you the very moment you disembark at Xi'an's bustling train station. The museum, quite a trek from the city's heart, makes the tourist bus number 5 seem like the logical choice. But here's the twist. Lurking near the legitimate bus stop is its deceitful twin, complete with a crew of pretenders from the bus route down to the ticket sellers and drivers. This faux bus steers you towards a quartet of phoning attractions, including the sham Terracotta Warriors exhibit. Other sites like the world's 8 Wonders Pavilion and Emperor Qin Shi Huang's Mausoleum Site Museum are part of the charade, with a retreat room, no visit, no exit. Each site is an eclectic mix of subpar 3D animations and replicas, featuring laughable miniatures of the Hanging Gardens of Babylon, the Great Pyramid of Giza, and the statue of Zeus at Olympia, and of course, there's the garishly altered Terracotta Warriors, complete with anachronistic features. So, be on high alert for those overly cordial folks in uniforms. But the plot thickens even at the gates of the Guinean Terracotta Warriors Museum. A horde of unofficial guides swarm, offering unsolicited tours. These aren't the museum's recommended guides. If you take the bait, they will not only hawk Lantian jade, but also lure you to Digong, a supposed high-tech showcase. They pitch it as a significantly accurate 1-to-1 scale replica of Emperor Qin Shi Huang's tomb. The grand finale, they seat you in a seat reminiscent of a roller coaster, curing up a 5D movie. That's right, a cartoonist short, promising a journey through the Digong. This brief, rudimentary 5D film, lasting less than 10 minutes, astonishingly costs 188 yuan. A stark warning to keep your wits about you against any guides coaxing you into a cinematic experience. The Beggar Scam. They are what I call professional beggars, not the destitute souls they pretend to be. Instead, they are regular folks masquerading in various disguises to tug at your heartstrings and extract money from unwary workers. Their fabricated personas range from students stranded far from home, trekkers caught in misfortune, mothers with alien children, to elderly individuals feigning frailty. They make their appearances in bustling tourist locales, hospital vicinities, and crowded intersections. Their methods differ. Some opt for the humble kneel, others brazenly loom in your path. They are united by one telltale sign, a smartphone and a QR code at the ready, geared for cashless or cash transactions. However, offer some food, and you are met with nothing short of disdain. Should you hand over cash, don't be surprised to find them stationed at the same haunt the next day. This is their 9 to 5, sell bread and butter. It's essential to discern the truth behind their facade. Otherwise, your generosity unwittingly becomes an instrument of their greed. The low-cost bus tour trip. It's a universal truth. Tourism and commerce often go hand in hand. Yet, in China, there's a unique twist with ultra-affordable group travel agencies. Imagine booking a budget-friendly tour, maybe a day trip to the Great Wall. These agencies, more often than not, make scant profits from the tour fees. The real money for them lies in the commissions they earn from tempting you to shop. The journey itself, well, it turns into a never-ending sales pitch. As the bus rolls along, your guide transforms into a relentless marketer, turning what could be an adventurous exploration into a tedious sequence of sales stops. The bus seems to have a knack for pausing. Whether it's for a quick bathroom break or a photo op at a scenic spot. But oh, the number of unscheduled detours into bustling shopping districts. Here, the pressure to open your wallet is palpable. And the merchandise. We were talking jade, silverware, silks, and fine porcelain. These items are presented as rare and valuable, often claimed to be the handiwork of esteemed artisans, sometimes even demonstrated live for added allure. Here's the catch. If you start to haggle, you are already falling into their trap. Choose not to buy. The foresty change in the guide's demeanor can be startling, nudging you towards an impromptu spending spree, just to keep things pleasant. But let's face the music. These so-called priceless artifacts are often overhyped and worse, might be outright fakes. The harsh truth, their real and only market is the unsuspecting tourist. In closing, let me assure you, the Chinese are largely genial and hospitable towards outsides. but there are always a few who operate in moral gray zones, aiming to exploit tourists. The odds of running into such incidents are quite slim, and a little caution goes a long way. Here are some practical tips I've compiled. Rule 1. Stay alert to overly friendly strangers. If you sidestep interactions with those who spontaneously approach you for a chat, you are likely to evade most scams. This caution may be somewhat disheartening for those eager to dive into a new culture and connect with the locals. However, context is crucial. You are usually safe in residential areas, eateries, common streets, or during social gatherings. But be vigilant in tourist areas against those who might entice you into unnecessary spending. Rule 2. Follow official recommendations strictly. Be skeptical of too good to be true offers, and meticulously plan your itinerary. Also, I recommend watch more videos from For Real Guide for deeper insights. Rule 3. If you unfortunately fall prey to a scam, strive to reclaim your rights. Relevant authorities respond decisively to clear fraud, particularly involving foreign nationals, and often prioritize these cases. For tourism-related grievances, the mayor's hotline at 12345 is your to-go. Faced with taxi overcharges, call the Transportation Complaint Hotline at 12328. In cases of extortion, immediately dial 110 for police assistance. Remember, silence is not golden in these scenarios. They are not untouchable. Raising your voice against injustice is powerful, and staying silent only leads to more victims. All these contact numbers will be listed below the video. Wishing you a delightful journey. I am your For Real guide from China. Looking forward to our next adventure together.